Hey gamers, Gekko here. Now I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the title and your ego is screaming! How dare you, Gekko Skrill? I've never bursted wrong once in my life. I know everything there is to know about Guilty Gear Strive, and I know everything there is to know about the burst mechanics, so how dare you tell me I'm doing it wrong? But I guarantee you found yourself in this situation before. You might not understand why you've made such a terrible mistake. Just so we're all on the same page, just in case you stumble on this video without knowing about the basics of Burst. Burst is a mechanic in Guilty Gear where you press Dust and another attack button and you break out of the combo or pressure sequence that you are in. There's two different types. Gold Burst is used in a normal, standard, neutral position, and Blue Burst is used whenever you're blocking or whenever you're taking damage. Gold Burst gives you added benefits like full meter in the old Guilty Gear games and positive bonus in Guilty Gear Strive. Now, I'm not telling you that bursting is a bad idea. Bursting is very good in a lot of different situations, but there is a specific kind of burst that a lot of people do that they don't realize is bad. I'm talking about the fabled Hero Burst. If you don't know what a Hero Burst is where you burst near the end of a round in order to try and make a comeback. If you don't know, a Hero Burst is a burst that you do near the end of the round in order to try and win it back. Guilty Gear Strive doesn't have any kind of comeback mechanics, so bursting in order to take the round back is basically the only one that you're able to do. There's a lot of situations where Hero Bursting is needed. If you're about to lose the entire match, Hero Bursting may be your only option, but should not be doing it in the middle of sets. And I have two perfect examples to show this. This is a clip from Nitro vs. Kazam in CEO 2025. This literally just happened a few hours ago. You can't really see from the health bars here, but Nitro is on the back foot. He's literally on a magic pixel. He's in a decent-ish position, other meter-wise. However, one more block and he is going to die. This is a very hard, very difficult position to be in as a player, but Nitro does a lot of interesting things, and Kazam makes a major mistake later in this set. Now, with a Magic Pixel, Nitro has to make sure that he blocks using FD, otherwise he's going to die from any of the chip damage that Kazam does. He spends the meter offensively in order to get Kazam in the corner, and he starts running his pressure, knowing that anything could ruin him. And he gets Kazam into this position, low health in the corner, in the yellow health. Now, this is where Kazam makes a major mistake. Seeing that he's now been shoved in the corner with Nitro on so little health, he decides, after taking the counter hit, to just burst. He takes a normal 2S there, and he bursts out. Now, this is absolutely a Hero Burst. You can see that Nitro is on basically no health. And while that combo might have killed, I think that this is actually the wrong decision for Kazam. Now, it does actually work out in his favor immediately. As you can see, he dash mids Mistfinder, and he's able to chip Nitro out as he does an FD in order to win the round. However, it's what happens in the next round that's extremely important, and the thing that not a lot of people know about Burst. So as we can see, next round, the difference in Burst meter is absolutely massive. Nitro gets the first hit, and he's able to shove Kazam into the corner, keep him there. Kazam finds a way out, just Johnny things. He's able to take a little bit of a lead here, but what I want you to really notice is how slowly that burst meter is going back up. We've been in this round for about 20 seconds, and he's not even got enough to be able to do a wild assault, whereas Nitro, keeping all of his burst, is able to convert this into more corner pressure and keep Geo's game plan rolling. Now, we've been here for about 30 seconds. He's finally just now been able to get half of his burst meter back. 30 full seconds of gameplay with these two characters, and Kazam only got enough just to be able to deflect shield. He's still in a massive burst deficit against Nitro. It continues to play out similar to this. Kazam is able to get a massive hit on Nitro, shove him in the corner, but Nitro's gotten his burst back. Nitro, with the meter advantage, obviously just supers out. He keeps Kazam locked down. He still barely has any burst. Granted, he would have it by now if He didn't use the deflect shield, however, after Nitro clutches up the round. Look at the burst meters again. Kazam still doesn't have enough to be able to burst. He has enough to Wild Assault and deflect shield, but we've got an entire round and his burst gauge has not filled. Nitro able to do some more clean plays, gets Kazam in the corner, and boom, finally, after a full round, and 15 seconds into the next round, Kazam finally has his burst. For the majority of this match, Kazam hasn't been able to burst out of any of Nitro's pressure or any of his combos, and it's cost him absolutely dearly. Yes, he won the first round, but he's found himself in a position where he's on orange health in the corner, and now he finally gets burst. Nitro keeps up the pressure, uses the Wild Assault there to guarantee that he's stuck with the burst in the corner, and he loses the round. Spoiler alert for the rest of the tournament, but Kazam actually loses here. This is the set that knocks him out of top 8. I think that hero burst was an absolutely key part in Kazam's loss here. He traded the burst away and wasn't able to get enough momentum back on his side from it in order to win the round. But this is just one example from one match. There's no way it would happen 2 times in the same tournament. Right? Well, of course it did. In fact, it happened to the same player. Once again, this is Nitro versus Jack, losers semi-final, playing in order to get to the losers final. Nitro has switched over to Leo Whitefang, a character he's more comfortable with in the Happy Chaos matchup than Geo, and he finds himself in a similar position again. He's up around, he has 2 lives. Jack, once again, has full burst. He sends him through the wall, he gets a hard knockdown. Nitro is in a one-touch situation. Again, granted, it's not as drastic as it was in the other one, but he is still only 1 good touch away. Jack not able to fully convert there due to the fact that he doesn't have enough concentration. Anything, though, is going to kill Nitro. Nitro sends Jack to the corner, keeps the pressure up, uses the plus frames, gets a nice hit here, and boom! Once again, we find ourselves in this situation where Nitro is just about to die, and they burst out. Granted, this one is a little bit different since Jack is on tournament losing point. It is questionable if Nitro would have been able to kill there, but Jack bursting out puts him at a deficit. He shoots against Nitro. Nitro does Leo things. And he finds the RNG shot. So we go into the next round in a very similar situation. Once again, Nitro is up with a full burst compared to Jack having basically nothing. Now, he does get the positive bonus, which if you don't know, does drastically increase the amount of burst that you get, but still, he takes a 2D counter hit combo to the face, he gets shoved in the corner, he's getting a super wall broken, and he's only at 75% burst, and he's already back to yellow health. From there, he gets hit with a normal hit, and he's not able to burst out, and Nitro takes the entire set, moving on to losers finals. Once again, burst has been used in order to steal a round, but it loses them the entire game. Both of these players are extremely good, they're way better than me, but not managing their burst correctly has led to them both being knocked out at one of the biggest tournaments in America. So what can we take from this? Jack's example is a little bit messy. The hero burst was more needed. I think we should go back to Kazam's example where it's much clearer that a mistake was made. If you manage to find yourself in a position where the opponent is basically about to die and you still have that burst, bursting out in order to try and win the round isn't exactly worth it. Yes, he would have been able to take a round. It is a little bit tricky on if Geo would have actually killed here off of Raw 2S. But the momentum that he lost because of this means that he ends up losing the entire match. Fighting games aren't about how many individual rounds you win. They are, in essence, a war, a tug of war between you and the opponent. And you have to make sure that you're managing your resources correctly. Burst is not something that you easily get back, and positive bonus is not something that you can easily just obtain. So making sure that you use it correctly is super important. I would personally say taking a round loss and keeping a full burst can sometimes be more worth it than taking the round win. Now, obviously, there are different examples to this. If Kazam would have won the entire match right then and there while bursting, it would have been pretty good. And it's not like he didn't make other mistakes that led to his loss. As you can see here, he's pretty much in a game-winning position from this. He has 50 tension, Gio's on red health. He basically has to get one good mix-up in order to kill her right here, right now. But he doesn't account for the fact that she's going to super on wake up. Nitro's able to get his pressure back. And with the added burst benefits that he has, he's able to shove him in the corner. And an unfortunate catch on the far S is able to kill right then and there. It's not that that interaction alone won him the round, but it put him in a really bad position that he couldn't exactly get out of. Imagine this situation right here, but Kazam has a full amount of burst. The obvious one is when this far slash hits, he's able to immediately burst out and then go back on the offensive. Yes, this would have been a hero burst, but Nitro only has one round left, so if he did end up winning the round from it, it would have been good. He could have also deflect shielded out, pushed Gio away, which is very good in this matchup, and kept her at arm's length. In fact, he could have bursted earlier, but even though he doesn't have it, he's forced to eat this and only gets a deflect shield for his compensation. So, should you hero burst? Case by case basis. I'm sure that someone could absolutely find a clip in this top 8 where hero bursting worked out. However, you need to think about it. Throwing your burst away recklessly in order to just win a round is not always the best thing that you can do. And burst can take a long time to come back. Remember this match? A full round and 15 seconds until Kazam got his burst back. You need to be careful and cautious with it, and make sure that you understand how your burst and the opponent's burst work. It's also a good example of how important positive bonus is. From the start of the round, all the way until Kazam gets positive bonus, he gets half burst that he uses on deflect shield, and then it continues to slowly crawl upwards as he does offensive maneuvers. But the moment that he breaks the wall with this super, you can see his burst begins to rapidly accelerate upwards anytime that he's not getting hit. It's also something that you need to pay attention to. This is not something that a lot of people think about when bursting. If you can use a bit of the gauge in order to make sure that you get that positive bonus, and there's no other better solution for you, it's generally worth it. So there you go. Don't hero burst. It can cost you entire tournaments. Thank you all for watching. I hope this helped out. I hope you think about your burst a little bit more after this. If you have anything you want to say, let me know down in the comment section below, and maybe hit that subscribe button while you're down there. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace.